It was getting late in the second quarter on Saturday at Hard Rock Stadium, and the Miami Hurricanes were inexplicably stumbling around against Syracuse when Shannon Dawson flipped a switch. And man, was it a beautiful switch. Suddenly, a wave of aggressiveness and creativity was unleashed upon the Orangemen. And before they knew it, the Hurricanes had put up 31 points en route to a 38-10 victory. It was a welcome sight for fans who had been lamenting Miami's predictability and conservatism at times this season. And it sent a viral energy up and down the Miami sideline that was quite noticeable to all involved and all watching. Yes, Miami has an elite offensive line, and it has a great running back room. But making that the focal point of the offense has perhaps turned out to be the mistake of the season because Miami simply wasn't scoring enough points. 21 in the loss against Louisville, 20 at SMU, both losses. The Hurricanes also scored only in the 20s against Notre Dame, Florida, and Florida State. And those were warning signals, as it turns out now, that maybe were ignored because of the thrill of victory. Well, this weekend, it's now a North Carolina State team that comes to Hard Rock Stadium that's not real good on defense, but is certainly capable of doing some things on the offensive side of the ball to score points that can make things uncomfortable for Miami if they don't show up with a loaded offensive arsenal itself. The Wolfpack scored 35 points against Virginia and 34 points against Wake Forest. They scored 33 points at Duke. They scored 34 points on the road at Pittsburgh. And then last week, before the open week this past weekend, they scored 48 points to upset Georgia Tech. Does the Miami offense need to stay aggressive? That would get my vote. But we're going to talk about all of that and more tonight as we begin this new edition of CaneSport Live. Hello again, everybody. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com, and we welcome you once again to the People Show, CaneSport Live. As usual, it's your show. It's going to be driven by your participation. Many of the guests tonight have pre-registered with us to be on the show. If you are not registered with us and you would like to come on, we welcome new viewers to participate in our show. All you have to do is email us at the email address that you see across the bottom of the screen, CaneSport@yahoo.com, and we will send you a link to the studio and you can come on the show this evening. As always, our managing editor at CaneSport, Matt Shodell, is joining me for the first hour of the show, and then I'll be joined by the voice of the fan, Bruce Warner, in hour number 2. So let's get started right now with Matt himself. And Matt, it's crazy because we spent so many weeks, wow, the Miami offensive line, wow, the running backs, Mark Fletcher, there was so much good going on with the run game, but it turns out that it might have all been a trap now that you're sitting here with 2 losses where you scored 20 and 21 points, and the offense needed to be more explosive than it was. And then you go into the game last week against Syracuse. How about a bad team? No argument. But you explode for 31 points in a little over a quarter. And, that just adds an exclamation point to those thoughts. And now with the college football rankings just came out, and you have just finished perusing those and seeing where the Hurricanes stand. So I'm going to give you the floor to take us out for tonight. And your thoughts first on the offense, the issue of conservative running up the middle, focused attack, and a more wide open, not totally wide open, because you'll note that they weren't throwing the ball that far downfield, but they were throwing the ball on the early downs. They weren't getting in third down as often. It made a big difference. Go ahead, your thoughts.
Listen, I know Sebastian's holding up a sign. His arm's getting tired. I'm not going to take up people's time. The offense sucks. Stop running up the middle and throw the ball down the field. All right. That's it. I don't write giant soliloquies like Gary. I don't spend hours, going on AI searches to see how best to say things about the run game or the offense or whatever. That's not me. The playoff picture is what everyone wants to talk about. And it's very, I finally picked up some stone crab traps the other day. And it's like, honestly, it's like you're Miami's the stone crab trap, and we don't know what's in it. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with it until it gets pulled up, and it won't get pulled up.
What a great analogy. You didn't steal that from AI, huh? That was
AI
good.
doesn't even know stone crabs exist.
I like that. That was good.
Oh, all right. Then I'm done. Can I leave?
Miami's been in a stone crab.
I'm done. I'm done. If this is the highest point I'm ever going to reach, what's the point to keep talking?
I like that. That's pretty good.
All right. Well, anyway. So here's what has to happen. I know fans say, oh, they're projecting the playoffs now. They're projecting the playoffs now. Everybody who wants to make a splash on social media is going to put Miami in the playoffs because Miami right now is the hot team to talk about, right? They beat Notre Dame. They beat USF, two teams that right now are supposed to be in the playoffs right now, right? So what other team out there can you say has beaten two teams like that that's not going to be in the playoffs? It makes no sense. So that's a big talking point. It's why people are saying that. But in reality, the way the CFP works is it's very hard to jump teams ahead of you unless that team loses a game, right? Miami could win out, and if everybody ahead of them wins out, hypothetically, it's going to be really hard for Miami to pass a lot of teams, and they need to probably get to number 10 in the rankings because, people think, oh, they just got to get to 12. There's 12 playoff teams. But unless Duke wins the ACC title, which I don't think is going to happen, Duke's not very good. Unless Duke wins the ACC title, there will be an ACC title team that gets a bye. The reason why Reese Davis and other people are saying, oh, there's going to be no ACC team except for Miami in the playoffs, even though Miami can't make the ACC title game, is because the top 5 conference champions are guaranteed playoff spots. And if the ACC team isn't ranked as highly as the group of 5 team that makes that playoff team, then they can say, bye-bye, ACC. We're not even going to put your champion in there. That's what they can do. That's just how they have it. They have 5 guaranteed spots. The 5th guaranteed spot can go to a group of 5 team if a Power 4 team is ranked below them that wins the title. Now, that could be Duke because Duke's not even ranked. But the more likely scenario is it'll be a Georgia Tech or Virginia or Louisville or even Pittsburgh, maybe, if Pittsburgh manages to beat Miami, of course, which would rule out Miami anyway. But I think the chances of Duke winning the ACC are slim. But for Miami purposes, everybody should be rooting for Manny Diaz. I know how much you guys love Manny Diaz. Send them all your love letters because if Duke wins the ACC title, there's a chance they'll be ranked behind USF, and Miami will be the only ACC team that makes the title. And by the way, if Miami loses to Pittsburgh and Duke wins the ACC title, there could be 0 ACC teams in the entire playoff. I mean, can you imagine? But anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. These are the more realistic things.
One week at a time. The only poll that really matters is the last one.
Well, thank you, Master of the Obvious. You should write a book. I'm sure everyone's going to buy that book. All right, so here's what has to actually happen unless Duke wins the ACC title. 5 of these things need to happen, and maybe 3 of the 4, and we'll get to that in a minute. It's not too complicated, okay? BYU needs to lose another game. They're number 12. Miami's number 15. BYU needs to lose another game, right? That's a pretty big gap to make up 4 spots and get ahead of BYU. But they probably will, right? Because they have to play Texas Tech. Even if BYU wins out, they have to play Texas Tech again, and Texas Tech just killed them, okay? But Texas Tech is ranked too highly to where if they lose one more game, especially if it's in the conference title, that they'd fall below Miami. So that's a big deal. Right now, nobody's putting BYU or Cincinnati in these playoff brackets. But there's every chance that when BYU or Cincinnati play each other, one of those 2 teams will play Texas Tech in the conference title game. And if they beat Texas Tech, they'll get 2. 2 Big 12 teams will be in the playoffs, and that's going to screw up Miami. So we have to hope Texas Tech wins the conference title game. That's one thing that has to happen, okay? And again, that could not happen, but then all these rest of these things have to fall in place. Notre Dame has to lose another game, right? They play Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. So really, the Pitt is the big hope. Syracuse is awful. Stanford, forget it. If Notre Dame beats Pittsburgh this weekend, then everything else has to fall into place that I'm talking about here. Okay. Texas has to lose another game. They will. Georgia, Arkansas, Texas A&M. They're going to lose another game, I think. Oklahoma needs to lose another game. They probably will. They play Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. They will not be in the conference title game, so they need to lose one of those 3, or they'll be in the playoffs ahead of Miami, okay, if they win those games. Utah, this is an interesting one. Utah is number 13. They have 2 losses. They play Baylor, Kansas State, and Kansas. They'll probably win all 3. If they win all 3, and if the committee doesn't move Miami ahead of them, if Miami wins out, that's a massive problem, right? Nobody's really putting Utah in the playoffs right now ahead of Miami. So I'm hoping somehow that Miami will jump Utah. But then again, why isn't Miami already ahead of Utah, right? There's only a few weeks left in the season. The committee put Utah ahead of Miami for a reason. For them to all of a sudden flip-flop it in the last couple of weeks when both teams are winning, they need something to happen where like Utah barely wins a game and Miami's killing everybody and looking great. It has to be something like that. If both these teams are just playing similar wins by a touchdown, 10 points, they're both blowing teams out, it's going to be real hard for the CFP to explain, well, we're going to put Miami ahead of Utah because people are real mad. They're not going to do it, okay? So that has to happen. Same thing with Vanderbilt. Miami could pass Vanderbilt, which is a spot ahead of them, even if Vanderbilt wins out against Kentucky and Tennessee. But again, Miami has to look good. This is like those old days where there was just 2 teams that played for the national title and you had to win your games by 50 points to impress the pollsters. Remember those days? That's where Miami is. And if they sit here and play this conservative damn offense and try to win games by 3 points and just get by, they will find themselves not in the playoffs again and probably be the last team out of the playoffs again, or second to last team out of the playoffs again. They'll be the stone crab that has no claws left that I pull up and start screaming about, where's your damn claws? What happened? How did somebody already take your claws? That will be Miami. All right, somebody already taken their claws.
They also probably won't get out of Pittsburgh for sure playing like that, in my opinion.
They have to win convincingly. They have to play well. They have to look good. That's what the committee's looking for. That's it. Consistent play, strong play, beat the hell out of the remaining teams, and then you'll pass those 2 teams, in my opinion. You'll pass Vanderbilt, you'll pass Utah, and now you got to have a couple other things happen, right, which we just talked about, right? You have to have Notre Dame lose or Oklahoma lose or Texas lose. 2 of those 3 have to happen, et cetera. I just went through the whole thing. I'm not going to do it again, but that's all I got.
James says it's simple, Mario. Don't fuck this up.
Oh, children watch this. I think my son's watching this. Why would you put that up there?
Oh, sorry. It's not simple. Sorry.
If my son Jeremy's watching, the F word just means mess up. That's not a real word.
But it's not simple as you just discussed. I mean, yeah. it just isn't. And Ellen wants to know what we think about the young guys that played. They were freaking great.
Yeah, that's what makes me crazy. Every year, I'm like, play the young guys. Like I want to see them, and they look so good. Jordan Pringle. People are Miami fans that I talk to. They're like, why on earth didn't the coaches know to play this guy earlier? He has the speed element they've been missing the whole damn year. And guess what? He's not gonna. It's honestly
they were devoted to the inside run game, and Marty Brown was better equipped for that.
This is the sad thing. People are now happy Mark Fletcher's hurt, which is ridiculous. Okay, coaches should be playing Mark Fletcher as the number 1 back and Gerard Pringle as a change of pace back. Period. Because right now Jordan Lyles lost his confidence. He's not seeing things right. He's too anxious.
Same guy right now. Yeah.
And Marty Brown's too slow to hit the hole. And he's not seeing stuff well enough. Those are your 2 guys. Like this whole play the power guys who are averaging 4.2 yards a carry, which is more than a yard less than a year ago. Like that's not going to cut it. And I hope Miami recognizes that Pringle should not be the number 4 guy or number 3 guy at running back anymore.
And Jojo Gunn's asking any truth about the Keontae Scott rumors. We've heard them. There's 0 confirmation that he's out for this week. So I don't, we just can't, we're just no place on that right now. So we'll see. Injury reports will start coming out on Thursday. We'll see if he's on there, but otherwise we're not allowed to discuss injuries. Quite honestly, we've been asked not to. So, but I will say we have heard these rumors and we are like looking into it, but nothing that we can confirm.
Yeah, we can't even say it. So
here tonight,
even if we could confirm it, we can't say it. So
yeah,
I was talking. It's like in the old days, right? People would be like, the media would be in a rush to get the news out, right? They'd find out, somebody would find out, and they'd report it, and they'd be applauded, like, "Oh, great job, thanks for the scoop," or whatever. Now, if somebody reports it, it's like the enemy of the state, right? It's like write them out of town. They're not allowed back in Coconut Grove anymore. Let them live in Tallahassee the rest of their lives. It's become a different world that we live in. But I think fans actually appreciate not having.
Part of it is, there's a little extra paranoia about injuries on the part of the head coach.
Yeah,
and he's made that request, and we try our best to honor it. I mean, every blue moon, there's something crazy that happens that we can't, but for the most part, we try our best to honor it and not talk about injuries. All right, let's get things going tonight. I'm going to start with Uki because Uki has named himself Uki Was Right. Okay, and I want to know what the hell he's talking about. Uki, you with us?
Yo,
what's up, my man? What were you right about?
Man, I've been right about everything, Gary. But listen. A few things, man. A few things I want to discuss. Something interesting. Mario kind of touched on, and he was talking about young guys and and depth and all this other stuff. So, and then I got to thinking because Indiana is the hot topic on our message board these days. So I said, let me go look at Indiana's depth chart. And damn, I was thinking, like, I see a lot of redshirt seniors and juniors and 6-year seniors and 5th-year seniors.
Yep.
And then, I thought back to our last championship, 2001, the great 2001. And all those guys who could have left in 2000 easily could have left. And still been day one guys in 2000 as they could have been in the NFL class of 2002, but they stayed because they didn't finish the mission. So we get all these high caliber guys like Bain and CC and all these guys, and we push them to the NFL so early. Oh, they need to go get the money. But these are the same guys that say they want to bring Miami back. So why don't they, for once, finish the freaking job and come back and help Miami win the championship?
Because if you're a first-round draft pick, you're being stupid.
I hear that. Ed Reed was the first-round draft pick and decided to come back. What's the difference?
Different era.
Not a different.
Although they can pay players. They could pay players.
You said that. It's even better because they're actually getting paid. Ed Reed and them had nothing to fall back on.
Right. They could get paid. Yeah, if you pay them enough. Absolutely.
They had nothing to fall back on. They came back because they wanted to finish what they thought they should have earned, was the national championship. So if you come here and talking about you want to build the U up, why not stay? Finish the job. You'll still get paid.
Because the difference now is there's not that identity of I belong to the University of Miami. I am a Miami Hurricane. I know it's a good soundbite and fans love it, but these players are almost all mercenaries. They all have agents, right? And those agents are telling them what to do, and they're doing it. They're 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds. So when an agent who does this for a living is constantly in your ear every day, because the agent wants to make the money too, believe it or not. I know it's shocking to everybody. Players do what the agents tell them to do. The school used to own you. When you signed with the school owned you. Because if you tried to leave, you're out for a year, and then everyone's already forgotten about you by then. Right?
Well, that was my point that I made on the board earlier.
That's not the same as the old days.
That's the point I had made earlier this week on the board, is that the coaches don't control the narrative anymore. So
Correct.
now people's talking about why don't they bitch this guy or why don't they bitch this guy? Because simple. Yeah, you could do that 5-6 years ago. You can do that. Now you bitch a kid, he's subject to say I'm done and I'm going to go and get in the portal for whatever reason. So the coaches don't control that narrative anymore. But this is what I'm saying. Fans are crying about young guys playing or young guys not playing. You can't win championships with just playing a bunch of young guys. Indiana's showing you can't be a dominated team if you just play a bunch of young guys. All the teams that
Indiana's winning because of their quarterback. That's a bad example, but okay, I get your point.
No. They got a lot of older guys on that roster.
Yeah, that helps. Sure. That helps.
And same as Ohio State.
My point is, if Indiana didn't have that quarterback, they'd have 2 or 3 losses. That's all I'm saying. Certainly, they'd have at least one.
We're not gonna make it like Mendoza. Mendoza is just some great quarterback. He got into the right system. Nobody was drooling over fucking Mendoza in the portal.
Miami was drooling over Mendoza in the portal.
No, they wasn't. They
met with him secretly. They wanted him.
Mendoza was probably second or third thought in Miami's arsenal.
They chose Beck over him, but they wanted Mendoza too. They knew Mendoza was good.
consider, but that he wasn't their main target. He was not.
It doesn't matter. Look where he is now. He's going to be a top NFL draft pick. I mean, he's a
But
great
doesn't mean
player.
he
What does
would-
it matter where he
doesn't
was a
mean-
year ago?
Doesn't mean he would have looked the same in this.
We're discussing Indiana's team. I'm just saying they wouldn't be where they are without having the best quarterback in college football. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying a year ago he wasn't a good transfer quarterback or was a good transfer quarterback. I'm saying without him, he's making that team go to where it is. That's all I'm saying.
But my point is this: we're not going to be competing for any championships until this team becomes grown. You look at all the top teams. Look at Ohio State's. They're playing grown men. They're not playing young guys.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing grown men.
Yeah, unfortunately, Uki, that's all great, but that's not going to be the norm in today's game. It's all about the Benjamins now. And if somebody's a first round draft pick and the money's there, they're going to the NFL.
Okay, so then we need to stop crying about losing to Louisville and stuff like that, because guess what? We're never going to look like Ohio State. We're never going to look like Indiana.
You can look like whoever you want.
They lost to Louisville because they turned the ball over 4 times.
But listen, like I said, until you get a team that's full of redshirt juniors and redshirt seniors and 5th-year seniors, you're never gonna look like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The old Virginia Tech system was play young guys, and they were bad when they played the young guys. But then when those guys were redshirt seniors and seniors, they were really good. Remember those days, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago? That was their system. And I agree with you. It still works. But the today's system has nothing to do with that. You pay older players to come to your team as free agents. Like, that's what you're getting at. And I agree. You have to do that. But it doesn't mean young players like Malachi Toney can't also be massive pieces of your team. And Jordan Pringle. You can have a combination. You just got to play the best players that you can get and that you have. That's all.
No, I'm not saying you can't win with freshmen. Ohio State best player last year was a freshman. But when you look at the mass of their roster last year, they had a lot of grown men on their team.
Yeah, it's important to have both. I agree.
Yes, a mix.
So,
all right, Uki.
Yep.
Anything else for us this evening?
That's it.
All right, my man. Thank you for coming on the show. We'll talk to you next time. All right. Let's see here. Money Man is saying the Canes had to run trick plays to score against Syracuse. Not impressive. I would say, come on, Money Man. Like, they didn't have to run trick plays to score against Syracuse. They chose to run trick plays against Syracuse. And those trick plays were part of an overall, I don't know what to call it, Matt, development, phenomena, whatever you want to call it, where they opened things up a little bit and they created excitement on their sideline and amongst the players on that team. It is one of the greatest developments that I've seen this season, because I didn't think that they were scoring enough points. I haven't thought that all along. I mentioned all the games they scored in the 20s. If you want to be a top team in college football, you must score in the 30s and really average in the high 30s. If you're scoring in the 20s, you're going to be in win some, lose some mode, which is what we've been in yet again this season. And so I would be saluting the openness of the play calls. And I wouldn't be looking to poke holes in it. And no, they didn't have to do it. They chose to do it. And,
can I add one thing real quick? Because this is something people keep saying, and I don't understand why. So Dat Heat 2, who murdered Dat Heat 1, but then couldn't take his username, said the latest polls say if we win out, we pretty much are in ACC or not. And I just want to point out, Miami's 15th. If a team from the ACC is ahead of the Group of 5 team, which it is right now as we sit here, and probably will be unless it's Duke, okay? Probably will be. Miami needs to be 10th or 10th. They need to be 10th, right? Because there's going to be a Group of 5 team in there. And what was the other spot now? I'm forgetting. There's something. I can't remember what the other one was. But there's for whatever I already wrote, which my brain's going crazy. They have to be 10th. And Notre Dame, right? Because Notre Dame's not in a conference. So if Notre Dame's in, and if a Group of 5 team's in, you need to be 10th. And they're 15th, which means you have to pass 5 other teams. Okay. So like when they say if we win out, we're in, Miami needs some other things to happen. I understand people keep saying they're seeing these projections all over the internet. I keep telling you guys, it's for clicks. It's not reality. The reality is Miami needs help. If Miami wins out, they are not in. Miami needs to win out and have a few other things happen, which is literally what I said at the beginning of the show. So just to try and clear up these social media misconceptions.
There's a lot of Dalen Upshaw and Gerard Pringle fans out there now. Why isn't Upshaw playing more? Well, he wasn't playing more because other guys were playing. But I'm telling you, this is a kid that we saw make plays like literally every single practice. He'd be making big plays all over the practice field. And it was obvious that he was capable of making a contribution. There was just a preconceived, I think, notion that some other guys were ahead of him. And, you know, maybe they were. Like Keelan Marion's having a very, very nice season. CJ Daniels was having a very nice season. You can't knock those two guys that were playing. They were older players, older than Dalen Upshaw, and they got to go first. And now he got an opportunity, made a big play. My guess is we're going to see him a little bit against NC State this weekend. I mean, he earned that. I mean, Matt, we've talked so much about the bubble screen and, you know, how that's, you know, kind of part of the conservative type of mindset that we've seen. Dalen Upshaw made the bubble screen look different on the one opportunity he got to run the bubble screen. Just the way he hit the hole with authority a little bit quicker than maybe what we've seen some of the other guys do this season.
Look, when we watched fall practice, we told you guys over and over again, the most talented receivers on the roster are the three true freshmen.
Yes.
Josh Moore, Dalen Upshaw, and Malachi Toney. And just because we haven't seen enough of Josh Moore, who did have a couple of great games and great catches, and just because we haven't seen enough of Dalen Upshaw doesn't make it not true. It's just they're all true freshmen. And you know how it is, right? They're a little inconsistent. They maybe aren't doing all the things the upperclassmen already know to do in practices and the things, you know, route running consistently and all the stuff you got to do, right? It's not just your talent when it comes to college football. But yeah, if you put a guy like Dalen Upshaw on these quick hitting receiver things where it's not that hard, you take 2 steps off the line backwards, catch the ball and just run, that's great because he's fast, elusive. I mean, you saw it all. I don't have to tell you what he can do. You saw it, right? That's what he does. The reason he's not going to play a lot is because when it comes to understanding the offense inside and out and the route running and the way Shannon Dawson has receivers run these routes, it's not like here's your route, just run it. They have to read the defense and be on the same page mentally with the quarterback to know how to adjust their route, right? This is what Shannon Dawson, this is why he says his offense is unstoppable because whatever the defense does, the receiver knows what to do based on that, and the quarterback's on the same page and blah, 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 blah. But for a true freshman, that's a little difficult sometimes. So yeah, Dalen Upshaw will be a situational guy. I'm sure they'll try to get the ball in his hands at least 2 or 3 times a game in simple ways, right? But he will not be playing a lot of reps, in my opinion. Unfortunately, and he's a great future, just not right now.
Now, in fairness, when we were saying that the young kids were the best looking receivers that we were seeing, CJ Daniels and Keelan Marion were not performing at the level that they were performing at when the season began.
Right.
I mean, in all fairness, we didn't see either one of those guys making plays the way they started making them when the lights came on. So congrats to them. And I don't think there's been any false favoritism or anything in the wide receiver room. I mean, you're always going to, look at the older guys first. They have experience and have been there. But the freshmen are getting opportunities. Malachi was the first. Obviously, Josh Moore has gotten opportunities, has shown a little immaturity at times, but is doing better. And now, of course, Dalen Upshaw is right there in the mix now with the performance the other day. So it is evolving the way we thought it might. It just didn't start out the season that way. Let's go to Kane. Kane, what's up, my man? How's everything going?
Hey, man, look, man, I'm tired of arguing and fussing. My flight got canceled. Had to pay $450 to get back to Virginia Beach. Had to sleep in the airport. But hell, it's all good. We won. This is what Cane fans do.
It doesn't sound
This is what we freaking do. I live in Virginia. I had to pay $450 to get back home tonight, and I'm at work. So don't give me this bull crap about this, that, and the third. Just win. Like Matt said, the fans, we'll win. We in. Damn lie. You can win every game, but if people don't lose, you ain't going nowhere. People have to lose in that top 10 for Miami to get there. So just win the game. I'll be there Saturday. Just win the game. There's no more to talk about. I'm tired of all of this player, that player. Play all the freshmen. Play everybody. Open up the offense more. It looked good. But that running through the 1, 2, 3, that's getting old. But then when you ran the young boys through the outside more than you run the older guys to the outside, it looked good. Hey, man, just win the game. All fans want to do is just win. That's it. I ain't got no more to say. Ain't a whole lot of cussing and fussing. Just win. I'll be there Saturday. Just win. And the other thing, I know y'all don't talk politics, but I got to say what I feel on my heart. I feel so bad for them TSA workers, man. I go through the line. I've been without a job. And they got to work and make that money and don't get paid. That shit hurts my heart. And it should hurt everybody's heart out there. The government ain't. Okay, y'all don't go there. But to me, y'all already know what time it is. I don't play no side. But the government, I'm going to let it go. Because I'll be like Matt. Matt say, I don't ride the line. We ain't going to ride the line. Go Canes. Let's win these damn games. No more to say. Love y'all. Hey, Uki, you had a good point. But like Matt and them said, that shit don't work no more. These kids, they go. You got to go. They want the bigger money. That's just life. But we're going to win. One day. It's coming. It is coming. We want it to be this year. Peace. See y'all Saturday. One love.
Right, Kane.
All
Hopefully
right.
they get this thing settled and those TSA workers are out in force by the time you fly in for the game.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. One love. Peace
All
out.
right. Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show. Pretty wild.
I mean, I'm not. Obviously, I'm on this show. I'm not watching the ESPN thing, but apparently they had the main guy from the CFP, the chairman, on with Reese Davis, and he said that I mean, this is just based on our message board. He said that the Miami offense is the problem, and they need to show consistency on offense. So, like, if they don't make the playoffs, he's basically blaming Shannon Dawson. It's pretty funny.
Listen,
if that's what he said. I was on the message board.
Points today are important. There's no doubt about it. M. Kramik says that Miami has multiple players as semifinals for major awards. It's all on Mario and coaching. We've never said it hasn't been on the coaches.
What do awards have to do with it?
Yeah, the awards are irrelevant, quite honestly. I mean, there's plenty of talent on this team. And
Kane Mills confirmed it. Rhodes is putting Shannon Dawson on the hot seat.
There's been enough talent to win every game this year. They screwed up. They screwed up a few of them, and they clearly screwed it up when you look at the whole body of work and the amount of points being scored in falling into the trap with the inside running game that was leaving them in too many third down situations where it's one play here or there, and you're not going to convert all of those. Like, if you're at 50, 60%, you're doing well. Well, that's a lot of empty possessions during the course of a game where you're not scoring points. So that's where it got a little flawed. And yeah, like they got to take the coaches, absolutely, beginning with the head coach, has to take responsibility for that. They have enough talent that they could have been more wide open, and they still could have used the inside run game, and Mark Fletcher still could have gotten his, and it just might not have been as predictable and repetitive as it has been, to where opponents could hone in on it as a focal point. And listen, the situation is what it is, and at this point, all you can do is win out and see what happens. All right, let's go to Greg. Greg, welcome back to CaneSport Live. You ready to do some screaming at Matt?
No. Okay, the way I see it, if Miami wins out, it's going to come down to either a fifth SEC team or Miami. If Notre Dame gets in, it'll be 3 Big Ten, 5 SEC, 1 Big 12, 1 ACC, or it'll be 2 ACC.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, if Notre Dame gets in, you're probably right.
All right, and by the way, how is Texas ranked 10? Texas
is going to lose again. It doesn't matter.
They barely beat Mississippi State and Kentucky, and they got blown out by Florida. How is that possible?
Because they started the year number 1. If they started the year number 25, they'd be 25th or unranked.
They'll be losing again. Don't worry. They'll lose again.
They'll lose again.
Okay. You were talking about all the excitement. There was no excitement on the bench at all until Malachi Tony passed to Beck, okay? Beck was out to lunch. the offense looked worse than it has in any game this year, in my opinion. Come on. By the way, I'm going back to last week because I didn't call. Mario took the ball out of Beck's hands because freaking JoJo Trader dropped that freaking ball, okay? Don't blame Dawson. It's Mario who's calling the shots, okay? Dawson doesn't have free reign to call whatever he wants. I don't care what you say. That's a bunch of crap, all right?
You're right.
Mario...
You're not wrong.
absolutely
Mario and Dawson work hand in hand crafting game plans, and Mario definitely has told, I know for a fact, he's told Shannon Dawson we have to play complementary football, meaning don't just try to score in 2 plays. We have to make sure the defense stays rested. Everything goes hand in hand, blah, 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 blah. So there's that, but Shannon Dawson does call the plays. Like, don't get that wrong. Mario Cristobal's not in the headset calling the plays. Shannon Dawson is calling the plays. And then Carson Beck can actually adjust the plays. So it's a combination of all the above. Like, everyone wants to blame one or the other. It's blame all of them. Blame Carson Beck, blame Mario, and blame Shannon Dawson, because it's all of them. It's sort of like when you make a pie, a rhubarb pie, and the rhubarb, you don't realize it's so bitter, and it's a freaking terrible pie, and only people from the 1950s want to eat it, and they're playing the 1950s brands of football, and like people want to blame one person, but it's all 3 ingredients. They're all bad.
All right.
Greg, you eat a lot of rhubarb pies, right?
You've had rhubarb pie.
No, I don't like that. I'm not.
You know what it is.
Peach. Yes, I know what it is.
Guess what? Most people watch this show don't know what rhubarb pie is. Believe me.
You're talking about strawberry rhubarb pie?
Any rhubarb pie. Do you know what the grassy knoll is? I bet a lot of people don't know what the grassy knoll is either. I've been polling people after I went there.
Okay. Can we get on with this, please? All right. Did you hear what Pat Narduzzi said?
Yeah.
When they asked him if this was a must game this week?
That's the most effed up thing I've ever seen a head coach say in my life.
He doesn't care if they get beat by 100 this week, as long as they win the last 2.
Like, what are you talking about?
I don't think he realizes that if they fall out of the rankings, they're not making the playoffs even if they win the ACC title. His point was, if we get to the ACC title game and win it, we're in the playoffs. But if they lose by 100 points to Notre Dame, they're going to drop out of the rankings, and then they'll be behind USF. And if they win the ACC title, they probably won't be high enough to make the playoffs. He doesn't even understand the system. It was the dumbest answer I've ever heard in my life.
The dumbest
Maybe
thing in the
you
world.
should call him up.
I will. Do you have his number?
No. Okay. By the way, the 2024 class, of which Lyle, Trader, and Lofton were 3 of the big guys, they all suck this year. They're freaking horrendous. Why is Trader playing over Upshaw? Let Upshaw play.
He will be this week.
I love the passion. Greg's passion. If the Miami Hurricane players had your passion, Greg, we'd be undefeated. We'd be having the best time on the field.
Right. I agree.
Greg, we need to what can we call it? What should we nickname the Greg passion that we need to see from the Miami Hurricanes? I don't know.
But okay. I saw Manny Navarro posted that there've only been 4 holding calls against the opposition this year. How is that possible with Ruben Bain and Messidor? It's mind-boggling.
The problem is Ruben Bain and Messidor are so fast, you can't even hold them. They're already by you. That's
I don't know. I see them choking Ruben Bain a lot. Okay. Can I ask you something about the basketball team, please? I watched the game last night. I think they have a good team, but do they have anybody who can shoot threes consistently?
Thank you. And what about the mid-range shooter? Where's the mid-range jumper?
You're not going to win if you can't hit threes. I don't care.
We don't know. Until they play Florida, we don't know what they actually are going to look like.
You're going to know all you need to know Sunday.
They can't hit every layup and every dunk like they were doing in these first 3 games against Florida. So we're going to find out in a hurry.
Sunday night, ESPN, be there.
No, that's when we'll find out.
It is. Okay, my last thing. You talked about Keontae Scott. If indeed he's out for the season, why do they have to wait till Thursday to announce it? Who are they hiding something?
Yeah, they don't want to. They think there's an edge to the other team whenever they hear about an injury. That's all. They're going to attack the nickel. They're going to make plays for their slot guy. Their tight ends will run routes in that area. You know, whatever.
J.R. Barr, how's your answer, Greg?
What?
J.R. Barr, he has your answer.
What's the answer?
They treat injuries like they're nuclear secrets.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I hope we destroy CJ Bailey so we don't get him next year because he's not that great. He throws a lot of picks.
Yeah, I was told today he's making $2 million at NC State. So you're telling me Miami's going to pay
$2
that?
million. Well, we paid $4 for Beck.
I know, but are you going to pay him more than $2 million to come be the quarterback of Miami?
No.
I mean, you didn't take him because you felt Judd Anderson was better. Judd Anderson's your third. You're going to be your third quarterback going into spring.
All right. If we don't win, you know what? Mario blows another double-digit game. Nothing's going to happen because the Cuban mafia is running the show. So
you don't want to fire Mario. You want Mario.
I didn't say, but come on, Gary. We out-talent every team we play, and we get beat. It's not right, Gary. They just fired Brian Kelly.
Can we wait and see if they win? Greg, can we wait and see if they win or lose first before you have a burst his head? It's like, you ever see that Python skit where the
Brian Kelly was run out of town with a 34-14 record with 3 bowl victories.
Yeah, Matt.
All right.
I
stand corrected. Fire Mario. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Bring in Lane Kiffin, like I said 4 years ago. Lane Kiffin's a much better coach than Mario, and you know it, Gary. You can't say it, but you know it.
What has he won, though, Greg? What has he won? I understand.
What has Mario won?
Mario's won Pac-12 titles.
He won one. Yeah, he won one with a 4-3 record. Come on, stop it.
Greg, you got to speak up. We can't hear you, Greg.
Lane Kiffin is going to be making $15 million a year in a couple weeks. All right. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
He's got good PR. He's flashier.
Oh my Lord! You drove Greg off the screen. Look, his face is gone.
But he is not.
What are you doing to poor Greg? I got a bone to pick with you, Ferman. How could you do that to my buddy?
I'm right here. What do you want? Come on, stop.
You should have your own
Kiffin's
show.
in the SEC.
You should have your own
Got
show.
one loss.
I'm going to give you your own show. It's going to be called the Lane Kiffin Fan Club Show. We'll run it every year, once a year at midnight.
Why don't me and Matt have a show one time?
All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I had this nightmare last night. Now it's come true.
I'm not attacking you, Matt.
I know you were very nice today. I don't know what I did to deserve you being so nice to me. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping Gary doesn't come back now.
Wait till if we lose this week. Just wait till next week. All right. See you later.
All right.
Have a good night.
Goodbye, Gregory.
See you next week. Gotta love him, man.
He's got passion. It's nice to have fans with that kind of passion because a lot of these. I was watching the, NC State post their press conferences online, and so does Miami. And you can see the views on YouTube. It was posted for 4 hours today already. It had been up for 4 hours. And I click on it because I'm writing a story off the NC State perspective or whatever. It had 2 views. I'm not even joking. And it was probably the coach's wife and the coach's girlfriend. Oh, am I going to get sued for this? It was the coach's wife and the coach's child. 2 views. 2 views in 4 hours. The NC State, and they don't even have the players available most of the time. It's just the coach talking about the team off a big win and Miami's up next and nobody even cares. And at Miami, it's just nice that people are passionate. Whether you win or lose, at least Miami fans care, If Miami lost these games and nobody's posting on the message board, no one's complaining, that's how you know your team is no longer relevant, no longer matters, nobody cares anymore. And NC State, it seems is a little bit in that box right now. I feel bad for them. Let me see. I'll tell you. You want to know how many views he's gotten now? I'm going to open it up right now. All right, here's how many views he's gotten. You ready? I swear to God, this is true. It was posted 10 hours ago. 17 views. I'm not making that up. It's crazy. YouTube.com/@NC State Pack Football/videos. Coach Doran weekly press conference November 10th. 10 hours ago, 17 views.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so Pinellas Kane, he's annoyed about Alabama. They lost to Florida State. What are they doing? Number 4 in the poll. There's an agenda and SEC bias. There's no doubt about it. I think it's fair. I think the ACC is bad. It doesn't make Miami bad, by the way.
But I think the ACC is a bad conference. I don't know why everyone's like, oh, why is the SEC getting favored? Well, it's because they have really good teams. Tell me an ACC team that's good besides Miami. Is there one? I don't think so.
Miami screwed up. Louisville and SMU were okay teams.
They're okay, but they're 500 teams. Both those teams are 500 in the SEC. You put Louisville in the SEC.
Virginia is not a good team.
Virginia would have a losing record in the SEC. I mean, it's just like
they got lucky in a game. SMU is an average team. We'll see about Pitt. Their coach to me is a hindrance when he says playing Notre Dame's not important. Please, Duke is not a good team. Louisville is a decent team. You got to hope. Maybe in the next few weeks some of this works itself out. But the ACC is not necessarily distinguishing itself very well. J.R. Barr makes a great point. Can't sit on small leads with 3 yards in a cloud of dust and a penalty-ridden offense. He's absolutely.
You can, because that's what Miami's been doing. So technically you can do it. You just may not want to do it.
Yeah. Right. They won one football game. Woohoo. They're riding carts through the locker room at Hard Rock Stadium and acting like total fools. They have 3 wins on the season. Yes, I'm talking about the Miami Dolphins. And that brings me to Adam, who now is coming on this show, and he's pounding his chest with his Dolphin sweatshirt because it's a little cool in the house today. Not a Hurricane sweatshirt, a Dolphin sweatshirt.
It's freezing in New York, by the way, and this was a gift from my brother.
New York.
Where's your little stuffed animal? Where's that? Where's that?
Different room.
But would you go to caneswear.com and get yourself a Hurricane sweatshirt, please?
I have a number of Canes polos and sweatshirts and all that jazz. And yes, the Dolphins finally won a game. First question on the basketball team. I'm a Miami sports fan, so I also follow the Heat, and I noticed they do Davon Mitchell, Drew Smith, etc. Do we actually have a backup point guard besides True Washington who can handle the ball? Because I was watching, even against Jacksonville and Stetson, we had trouble when True Washington came out with the ball.
Dante Allen can handle the ball for sure. He's coming, man. That kid looked good last night.
He's good at guard. He's good at guarding the other point guard. I'm not so sure about handling it, but
no, he's got decent handles.
Because Marcus Allen, it looks like, had never handled the ball in his life.
He's not a guard. He's a forward.
Okay.
The Timo kid, the 6'7" kid from
some point guard,
Slovakia or wherever.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good basketball player. He could do it if he had to. But it's going to be True Washington and
because even Donaldson is like a shoot first point guard.
Yeah, but he's going to be the point guard.
Okay.
Yeah, and True Washington will be the 2 guard who could slide to the point, if need be. And then they've got Dante Allen who can do it, and like I said, the Timo kid, number 88. He's capable. He's a little too tall to do it full time, but he could do it on a limited basis as
because I think John LeBoy is like a 3rd string point guard.
Yeah, he's not playing very much. Yeah, I don't know if he'll redshirt or not, but
him and that Maddox kid, they're both going to redshirt, right? That Trayvon.
I don't know. They played him last night, so I don't know.
Okay. And now, so wait, what happened with Keontae Scott? Because he just suffered an injury in practice and nobody knows.
There's a rumor going around that he got hurt in practice.
Okay.
We do not have details.
Okay. And a couple other things. I mean, what does it take? Like, this happened in Stanford and Syracuse. What is it with these slow starts? It's like we didn't score our first touchdown until 2 minutes left against Stanford, and 2 minutes again.
Well, in the first series, the first time they had the ball, they were throwing it down the field, and Malachi Toney was open, and it would have gone for a big play, but it got batted at the line of scrimmage. The second, third, and fourth possessions, they didn't really try to do anything. And that's why they were in the rut they were in. Possession number 5, they started opening it up again and going for a little bit more, and it was like flicking a switch. They scored 31 points in a little over a quarter.
Well, wasn't one of them like JoJo had it in his hands and
there was a third down play where JoJo dropped the ball? Yes.
Okay. Because
that goes back to what I said about third down. If you're in third down all the time, you're not you're going to have a drop pass. You're going to have a play that the defense does well. That's usually when they're blitzing is on third down. Carson Beck is not a good quarterback when you blitz him.
Okay. And I know this is a major what if scenario, did we ever even have a conversation with Fernando Mendoza?
Yes.
Because the way he's balling out at Indiana, they're now saying he's the Heisman.
They did meet with him. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there was a very private meeting. Mario knows his dad. They went to school together.
Yeah.
No, I know, but that's why I'm wondering is like seeing him, and I know it's a what if, but I think he would have been as successful in this offense as Beck, if not more so, because I think
100% would have.
Okay.
He's a special player. Really good.
Who knows? Maybe we can get him to transfer from Indiana for his last year.
I think if they realized how good he really was, which they should have, because he played well against them when he was a Cal.
Yeah.
They might have made a different decision.
Okay. And a couple other things. Defensively, who was it? With Federic out, is it? I mean, I liked Jadis Richard looked good at least at the end of the game.
Richard's more of safety the way they're using him. Honestly, yeah. No, they would use Ethan O'Connor. He's been okay.
I mean, Ethan O'Connor looks good. Has Charles Brantley played at all?
No, he's not gonna be a good player. They're not gonna use him.
Oh, okay. And also, who was it? Popo looks good. Popo looked good last game as well.
He's having a decent season.
If Scott is out, which I don't know if that's true or not, but if he is out, then they probably would have to put Damari Brown at nickel, which is not the end of the world. And you got Ethan O'Connor outside, but then you got to figure out, I don't know what you do with the other boundary spot. Trying to think who the other guy has been. Who is it, Gary? Besides, it would be O'Connor, Brown, and who else would they be using?
Xavier Lucas.
Oh yeah, Lucas. Yeah, Lucas. Right. Yeah. So they'll be fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And a couple other things on the recruiting end. It looks like we're besides the trenches. What do you guys know about this kid Dunnigan out of Kansas? He looks like a good. Could he play next year? It looks like we're recruiting enough kids that some of them will pop next year. We
can't. You're not going to predict what true freshmen will play next year, but they liked him, and his family was trying to push him to Kansas, and he just wasn't really feeling it. And finally, he just took control and said, "I don't want to go to Kansas."
Okay.
And he got back in the boat with Miami.
Okay. And one other thing, I know we got another commitment tonight from the kid from Delaware. Do you see us, because I've heard different things, has the ship for Russell actually sailed, or do you think there's still a chance we'll take one more receiver? I know he was at the game where Miami just dog walked Syracuse.
There is no limit to what Miami can take anymore because the limits are gone. But also keep in mind, Miami has almost a true 3 deep of freshman and sophomore defensive linemen. There's 11 freshmen and sophomore defensive linemen on this year's team. So to say, a freshman's going to come in, these guys have been in the system for a year or two. This is a guy who's just coming in. He'd have to be really special. And I think a lot of the defensive linemen they're taking now seem to be a little more of the guys, they see that the potential's there.
Okay.
Maybe they could be rush ends. The guys are taking it at defensive end, but there's nobody I see right now at defensive end where it's that guy's going to play as a true freshman.
Okay. I mean, right now, the only player I could actually see playing as a true freshman is Cantwell, Maui Noah. But now we've actually
he will almost definitely play.
Remember next year, Lightfoot's going to be heavier. Pickett's really good. Scroggins is already looking really good. Armando Blunt, Justin Scott, right? Cole McConaughey is getting healthy. He's going to be really good. You got Artavius Jones will be back off injury. Dante Simpson's looking
and what about
next year is going to be, these young guys will be ready to step up. I think it's a really good group.
And they're loading up on D linemen and recruiting.
And what about my thing is, and again, watching the Dolphins game, they showed Greg Rousseau a lot.
Hayden Lowe, thank you. Hayden Lowe, of course.
Hayden Lowe.
Of course.
I mean, possibly he could pop like Rousseau did. Because he got injured, I think, in the LSU game, and then he didn't really pop till the next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking my call, guys. Have a great rest of the show.
All righty, Adam. Thanks for being part of it.
You think about Lowe, and Lowe and Blunt could play defensive tackle or defensive end. This line next year, I know Gary's all gung ho that oh my God, they're going to lose Ruben Bain and Akeem Messer. What are they going to do? This defensive line is going to be sick next year. I think it's going to be better depth-wise next year than it is this year.
Haven't we learned our lesson?
No.
It could be very, very good.
No.
Let's not start annoying
people
okay.
before anybody's done anything at all.
Okay, and last thing, we don't
really. What are you talking about? Blunt is playing. Simpson's playing. These guys
Blade is going to be gone. Mesidor is going to be gone. Ruben Bain's going to almost definitely be gone.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you could see Justin Scott getting better every game.
You would barely know he's been out there this year.
He's been really good the last couple of weeks, Justin Scott. He's getting so much better.
Hey, you know,
Scott and Blunt inside his athletic, powerful defensive tackles. Hayden Lowe, who could play both ways.
it could
got
be
some really good ends that are young. I mean, this is a really good group coming up.
Plus, you still have the portal too.
And outside, real quick, sorry for this. Real quick, outside of Thomas and Scott, we're not losing anybody else from the secondary, right? Like Fitzgerald's a freshman, Poyer's a sophomore, Lucas is a sophomore, O'Connor, I think, is a sophomore.
The defense is really stacked for the future. I mean, really stacked.
Okay.
You know, I agree. Aguirre will be back. Cam Pruitt's going to be really good at linebacker. Like the only question for me next year is linebacker, honestly. The DBs, they're going to have Lucas, Frederic, Damari Brown, Poyser, O'Connor. Like, they're going to be just fine. They probably will take a safety in the portal just to be safe and maybe another nickel. But they're going to be really good in the secondary up front. And then somebody asked about the limit. There is no scholarship limit in the ACC. So it's a 105 limit if you want to call that a limit, but that's not really a limit. So,
and I'm going to say everything that Matt just said is possible. Maybe I'll say it's likely, but we need to get out of the habit here of anointing All-Americans before they do anything.
Did I say All-American?
No, but we get burned all the time doing this.
We can look at the roster now for next year and say they should be really good.
I'm just as guilty. Okay? I'm just as guilty. I watched Elijah Lofton.
You're more guilty, but I'm telling you, when you look at the guys that have played, you could say they're going to be really good. I
watched Elijah Lofton, and I didn't see any way he wasn't a total beast this year. Okay, I mean, I watched him. I watched that kid, and I'm like, if you scheme it up for him, this kid can be one of the best all-purpose players in the country. He hasn't done dog squat.
Yeah, one of the biggest shocks of recent seasons, honestly, is that he is a non-factor completely.
Complete non-factor.
He's playing a little soft. I don't know what, I know he was banged up early, but he's just playing soft. He's like avoiding contact. He doesn't seem to be into it. It's something not right.
He's dropping balls for touchdown.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
you would have dropped that ball too, and probably had your lungs come out of your mouth. Let's not downplay that he took a freaking shot.
Okay? He did. But look, he's probably playing out of position. He's in reality probably an H-back, which they don't have on a regular basis in this offense.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So he's not a true tight end. So I don't know what the future holds there, but I can tell you that we saw that kid do some pretty special stuff on the practice field that we're not seeing in games this year. So my point is, like, we fall into this trap of anointing. Everything's going to be great. Everybody's great. This guy, that guy. And then it doesn't come to fruition and we're all frustrated. But I want to see these guys start doing something first. I really do. And, I think that the defense is in a decent spot going into next year with some fortifications. But until they actually do it and show up and perform, I just don't think you can assume anything. I really don't. I mean,
okay. Well,
we've learned the hard way.
Yes, we have. Well, thanks again for taking my calls. Have a great
night, Adam. Go Fins, man.
Go Fins.
Fins up. Fins up.
Fins up.
Yeah, have a good one. The Dolphin fans are coming out of the woodwork, and that was a nice victory over Buffalo, though. You got to give them props for that. All right, Matt. Before we let you depart into Never Neverland, any parting thoughts?
Let's see. Should I give an update on my heart condition? Do people care about my heart?
I'm sure they're waiting.
Contrary to popular belief, I do have a heart, and it's such a good heart that it beats extra. It's got something called PVCs, which I always thought was a plastic pipe, but it turns out it's post-ventricular cardiopathy. I don't know, I just made that up, but I have PVCs, which is great. I thought it was a good thing. A lot of extra heartbeats. And I do blame the Hurricanes. I did not have any problems last year. And watching the Shannon Dawson offense this year, all of a sudden I get PVCs. There's no way in hell that's a coincidence. And I'm very upset. And I feel like UM should put me on their health plan. But I haven't had the guts to ask because I've been saying so many negative things. I think they'd be probably unlikely to help me and might actually give me a really bad surgeon to make sure I can never speak ill of any Miami Hurricanes system or whatever ever again. But look, the bottom line is I know everyone's fixated on the playoffs, and then everyone's like, oh, if they win out, they're in. That's the big thing. If they win out, they're in. I will just say this one more time. It's about as true as space debris did hit the Chinese aircraft. I was going to say a space debris hitting a Chinese aircraft, but it did. So it's about as true as something that just isn't true. You can make it up. I was going to use a political thing. I'm not going to go there, because God forbid we mention politics. But it's not true. Okay, they do need help. If Miami wins out, they are not just magically in the playoffs, even though all these, talking heads say, yes, here's my bracket and they're in it. They need help. You could read the story. You could go to our message boards. They need like 3 out of 4 things to definitely happen, and then a couple other things to maybe happen. Again, you can believe me or not believe me, but I'm the guy telling the truth, because the space debris did hit the Chinese aircraft, and now they're stuck in space, just spinning around up there. That actually happened too. That's the truth. Even though China won't say it happened, it happened. All right. So can I leave now?
All right, Matt. Go give your heart some rest. Okay?
I'm gonna go on my heart monitor. See it.
All right. Goodbye. All right. Let's bring in the voice of the fan, Bruce Warner, now here.
Hey, Gary, I think that this heart problem has a lot to do with Greg. I wouldn't blame it on anybody but him. I think
Greg,
that's causing the problem.
Greg's the man. He is something else. Wanted his own show. I gave it to him. I gave him a chance. He didn't seize the moment. But so what's the pulse of the fan this week, Bruce?
I think it's simple. Just win. We got to watch TV and see what else happens. We don't control our own destiny. So as far as we're concerned, we got to beat NC State. We got to beat Tech. That we have to beat Pitt. We need some help. But you know what? I look at it maybe a little differently. If we win the last 3 games, we won 10. We lost 2. If we win the bowl game, because I think we spoke last week about this, 11-2 is not so terrible. Yeah, we didn't make the playoffs, if that's what happens. Yeah, we didn't make the ACC title game. But recruiting, we're picking up more guys. I had a lot of guys we picked up this week. We're going to flip more. I think Blake Stewart might flip here. So, there's still a lot to look forward to. And 11-2 is pretty damn good, although we can look at ourselves and say we blew it. But,
it's pretty damn good. It could be pointed to as progress, and it could still suck that they blew it.
Right. It's still right. You have mixed emotions, but I certainly don't want them to lose 2 out of the next 3 with this November swoon stuff and then get blown out in the bowl game again. That would really be bad. We went 8-4 and we lose the bowl game. So, yeah, I'm excited because I want to beat NC State. I mean, they blew out Georgia Tech. They killed them. So, look, maybe there's no great teams in the ACC. We should be. We have the potential.
You got to play like it.
But we haven't played like it.
So play up to your talent. You can't bring the other teams back keep them in the game with your style of play. And, it's turned out to be a mistake. It just has. I mean, I understand what the thinking is. And I understand, that Mario has a firm conviction that pounding people and being able to run the ball equates to winning big games. And, in isolated situations that can be supported. I mean, it looked plenty good on opening night against Notre Dame, but it's very hard to win like that.
But Gary, the last 4 games, and here's a guy, Concrete, whatever the hell his name is, says that I come out with negativity. I made a negative comment, but I said if we win the next 3 games and the bowl game, 11-2 is pretty damn good. It helps with the recruiting. It shows we were able to make adjustments and finish the season on a positive note. So I don't know what this clown is talking about, but
JoJo Gunn. I mean, he's pack the rock and send the seniors off with a win, and that's all it's about this week.
Yep. But the last 4 games, Louisville, bad start, right? Stanford, bad start. We still won, but bad start. SMU, bad start. This past week, bad start. So you know what? We can't keep doing this. We got to come out against NC State because they can score.
It's become a pattern, and
why?
I don't know. There's something off. I mean, they get. I don't know if it's that they get spooked or what it was like. They had a good pass play on the first drive the other day, and the ball got batted down, and then the next few possessions. I mean, I know JoJo dropped 1 third down pass, but
was not an easy catch. It was near the line.
Should
It
have.
was not, and he should have caught it, but it was not.
Yeah, he should have had it.
Right.
You know,
We should have a lot of.
but I'm just saying, it's like I don't understand. Like, I agree with you. Like, why does this keep happening to this team where little things are bringing it down? And Jesus Barajas, he wants to fire Shannon Dawson. So many people want to fire Shannon Dawson. Fire Shannon Dawson to hire whom is my first question. You know, like, Shannon Dawson doesn't have to be fired. Shannon Dawson just has to do his job more consistently and a little bit better. And nobody knows whether, you know, Mario's part of that or not part of that. But listen, they're all in it together, and it doesn't mean everybody's got to be fired every year. We've been remaking the coaching staff every year since Mario got here. We've been remaking the coaching staff.
Okay, but that doesn't mean he's the right guy. We don't know that. Listen, I know last week because I watched it over again. I said, when you watch Malachi Tony, half the defense and most of the fans that came with that team are on him. They're all over this guy. So I said, use your head, use him as a decoy. What did they do last week? They had an end around. He stops. You could look at the video. There's like 6 defensive guys right near him ready to smash him. He throws it back to Beck, touchdown. That's using your imagination. That's using your brain. That's what he should have been doing all season long. So we've had 4 consecutive games where we came out of the gate horrible. Why? And so I'm not defending him. I could somewhat agree with the fans, because you're asking me to speak like one. That's scary to me. How the hell with this talent could they? And then they did that play. They had a great play. They had some really good. They had the screen to number 15. That kick he took off. He's really good, but he's not. I heard you guys. He's not going to play all the time, but he's good. You need to have people. You need to use other people. And sometimes Malachi may just have to be a decoy for a little while. That's all.
Yeah, well, he was wide open on the first series of the game, and the ball just got batted at.
Right, he got batted down. Right.
But you know, Shannon Dawson speculated that Syracuse saw that and saw how wide open he was, and they made adjustments and started bracketing him. So
well, why wouldn't you bracket it? Plus, you didn't even have C.J. Daniels on the field, so you should bracket Malachi.
Yeah,
and then let somebody else beat you. And it didn't turn out to be JoJo, that's for sure.
All right, let's go to BK Hurricane. What's up, BK? How you doing this week, man?
Hey, what's up, Gary? What's up, Bruce? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Oh.
What did you do? Fix your phone? You fixed it?
No, you know what it was?
Hey, BK, wait a minute. We got that audio problem. BK, it's something with your cell phone.
Really? It's still there?
Yeah, but you're getting audio interference. Are you coming on an iPad?
No, this is my phone, but
all right, that's better.
I'll try to get back in.
No, you're good. You're good right now. Go ahead.
I'm good right now?
Yeah.
This offense looks so different without CJ Daniels. It looks like a totally different offense.
He's a big receiver that you know is a presence out there down the field, no doubt.
I mean, like, is he back this week?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need him. We are going to need him, but
we need everybody.
We need everybody. Yeah, NC State's not very good on defense. You got to score in the 30s. Have to.
I mean, we can do it. I just don't understand what the problem is, because aren't the first 15 plays of the game scripted?
Maybe not from him. Maybe not from him. If that's what's happening in the last 4 games, we stunk in the first quarter and a half. I think you ought to get rid of those scripted plays and just see what's going on in the field. See who's covering who, whether there's double coverage on Malachi, you know, and do more jet sweeps, things like that, so you can see if they're in a zone or if it's a man. That's what they need to do and go from there. But I don't even know if they trust Beck anymore. That's another problem.
It's not.
Beck spooked them in the Louisville game.
Yeah,
he did. You know, he was really bad that night.
We have no choice but to trust Beck at this point of the game. He's a seasoned veteran quarterback. At this point, you got to put the ball in his hand and just hope for the best. That $4 million got to be good for something.
I would like to see them throw to set up the run instead of the other way around, because they've been getting in a lot of second long and third long, and that's killing them. You know,
Right. Exactly.
Jason Moore agrees with you, BK, about CJ Daniels.
Yeah, it looks like a totally different team. If we could run with CJ Daniels, Malachi Tony, and the Marion kid, we'll be fine. But every time JoJo gets in the game, he flashes and then he does something where it's like, you have no business doing that every game.
Huge disappointment. I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up in the portal.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up in the portal.
Maybe.
I really think he's going to end up in the portal. And really quick, and then I'll get off. What was that thing with Mario and Syracuse's coach?
They don't like each other.
No.
And Syracuse's coach is a you can fill in.
He's a loose cannon, Gary.
That's being so polite.
Yes.
I'm not going to be that polite. I'm just going to bite my tongue. Listen, that guy has no business being a head coach.
Did he really say that the team looked like they were about to quit?
He said all kinds of stuff.
He said all kinds of stuff.
He was taunting Michael Irvin. He was,
Well, Michael could laugh in his face. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but like that guy's it's a clown show. He had a good quarterback last year, so he thinks he's hot crap now.
Yeah, but I did think the team, if they didn't score with that Beck touchdown, the Beck touchdown, they would have probably quit. They looked like they were checked out. That sideline looked horrible. Every time the camera would pan to the sideline, the body language was just terrible.
Yeah, it's been like that, and there's got to be a bunch of reasons for this. Whether it's Mario working them too hard, or too tired by the end of the season, but there doesn't seem to be any fun. And I
that's what it is. They're not having fun.
Where the hell's the fun? Go out and have fun.
They're not having fun. All Miami has to do is just win out and let the ball fall where it falls. Just handle business, win out.
Like that, they're looking for more consistency from the offense.
Right, and there's going to be chaos in that top 10, Gary.
Yeah, there will.
There's going to be a lot of chaos in that top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami does end up number 9 or 10.
They could. A lot of teams still play each other.
There's a lot of teams still playing each other. Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, Texas. There's a lot of teams in front of us that's going to catch some major L's.
Yep.
I'm pulling for Pittsburgh this week, though.
Yeah, they got to beat Notre Dame. That would be great.
If Pittsburgh beats Notre Dame is no doubt going to end up behind Miami.
Notre Dame, because their head coach doesn't have the right attitude. I mean, their head coach is sitting there talking all week about how the game doesn't matter. Like, come on, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
That's just Narduzzi being Narduzzi. Narduzzi's going to bring up a master game plan for Notre Dame. I promise you.
I hope you're right.
Yeah,
he does it every year. Narduzzi is the ultimate coach that's going to spoil your season. He's done it to us. He's done it to a bunch of teams. Yeah, and he's probably going to do it to Notre Dame on Saturday.
Republican says, "I don't care if we lose to Notre Dame by 100 points." Like, what is he talking about?
That's coach talk. He just, he probably thought it was a stupid question, so he gave him a stupid answer.
It was a stupid answer.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot, dog. Really appreciate it.
All right, BK. Thanks for being part of the show, man.
Wow.
K-Mills says we need to adjust our scheduling. You don't have a say in that. TV and the conference build the schedules. You can make one request. Like, Miami usually will request to be open the week of the Jewish holidays in September or not have a game. But, other than that, like, you can't dictate too much of your schedule when you're home or away, unless there's like a major issue with the stadium or something. But that's a rarity. It's the schedule's put together by the conference and TV.
Hey, Gary, has anything come out of the complaints to the ACC about the referees? Or we've heard nothing. Crickets.
You've heard crickets, and I believe that the officiating in the SMU game was so bad, and that there were so many issues where the ACC officials were wrong, that it's kind of just like been swept under the rug. I personally noticed that the ACC started pushing Miami a lot in social media and different avenues in the days after the SMU game. And I think that the depth that the officiating was bad in that game and how much it had an impact on Miami registered with the conference. And, I think that there's a sentiment to try to get Miami in the playoff. I really do. And, but Miami's got to worry about winning these games. It can't get caught up in all that.
Who knows? Maybe they'll favor Pitt. Who knows? They'll be turned the blind eye to Notre Dame and just let them get screwed.
Yeah,
look, I think we should be in the playoffs because I like our team, but be ashamed to see Georgia Tech in there or whatever. It's just not the way it's supposed to be. But we blew it. We blew it. Maybe if they came out better than they did in the Louisville game and the SMU game, especially the SMU game, they had no business letting them in the game.
Yeah. Callie Kane, let it play out. I know it's fun to play the what if game, but you still got 3 weeks here to go here, and plus conference championships and stuff. Let it play out, and just see where it shakes. I mean, as it pertains to the Canes, still a lot of work left to do here. So I wouldn't be doing too much what if at the moment. All right, let's go to Jake. Jake, we got to unmute your mic. There you go. And welcome back to CaneSport Live.
How's it going?
Doing good. What do you got for us this week?
First thing in your actually, Bruce, to piggyback on what you were just saying with the officiating, the ACC they got to get out of this bullshit basketball conference mentality. Protect their own. Like, how many times has Georgia been bailed out this season, or Alabama in close games? And, I'm not saying you throw the game, but just like, Jesus Christ, call it even. Like, 4 holding calls against the best pass rushing defensive end duo in not the ACC, in college football. And
for the entire season, right?
Yeah, the whole season. Yeah. 2 against Bain and 2 against Messidor. It's a joke. I mean, that's just, you got to protect your own a little bit, where it's like, you want to raise the conference, or do you just want to tear each other apart, be mediocre? And
but a lot of these games, Jake, were our own conference against our own conference teams. Like when Wake Forest got screwed against Virginia, when the kid jumped way off sides, it was practically in the backfield. They called nothing, and the Virginia wins on like a 50-something yard field goal. That was so obvious. It's not even funny. Yeah, how do you not call that? I mean,
it's wild.
That's a difference you could argue, but that was blatantly obvious.
It's just it's been atrocious. I mean, the last game not too bad. There was a lot on called holding, but it's come to be expected at this point in the season.
Yeah, but it seems to me like Bain and Messidor, especially Bain, he's getting assaulted. They could file criminal charges. He's got like a hand around his throat.
Yeah, they're doing this like chokehold thing on him.
And he can't get out of it, and he doesn't get to the quarterback, and it's got to be frustrating. For God's sakes.
No,
anyway, I don't want to complain about the officials. We need to go out there on Saturday and go out there right from the get-go and just lay it on them. That's all. Just lay the wood on them and beat their brains in. We've got to come out and play at some point in time a 60-minute football game and not a part of the game.
Bingo. Can somebody tell Mario or Shannon Dawson that
Mario do it?
Football games are not 40 minutes. They're 60 minutes. Yeah. You put our best 40 minutes against any team in the country, will kill anyone. It's that 20 minutes that we just go silent.
I can't explain it. I really can't. I mean, obviously it's the story of the year. But I have, I can't even begin to explain why that's the case. I mean, I don't know.
Why the conservativeness though? That's something I would love for you guys to ask them in the press conference. You have nothing to lose. Nothing. Why are you holding back? Why
I think Mario, minutes? The head coach, believes in the run game, and he believes he's put together an elite offensive line, which he has. and,
tough.
and that they have very good running backs, and he doesn't want to turn the ball over. And when they opened it up in the Louisville game, it was turnover city, and that was a game changer.
Well, they were losing, Gary. Then we caught up. They had to do something. They were down 14-0.
But he was throwing the ball recklessly up into coverage, and I think he lost their trust that day.
First of all, our offensive line, like as much of a disappointment as Beck has been, this offensive line has regressed terribly. They're fine in pass protection. They're good at that. But Brockermeyer's garbage. Inez Cooper, I think he peaked as a sophomore and has gone downhill since then. And
we have not seen these gaping holes that we were expecting. Plus, it's hard to run against 6 guys all the time. Everybody,
you've got to step back.
We're going against 6 guys.
Even if they're good, let's say they're good, everyone knows the play that's coming up, so it doesn't even matter if you're good because the box is stacked every time. Yeah. Open it up. Look what happened. You open it up. What'd you say, Gary? We scored 31 points in about 15, 18 minutes?
It was like just over, it was a quarter in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Like, why do we have to play so stupidly? Why do we have to play into the strength of the other team as opposed to playing to win? The stupidity is just getting.
But that's what I said. I said that on a different show this morning. But you need to be able to prepare for what you're going to see. And everybody's been stacking the box. And, you need to do something else. I think they ought to throw on first down and then set up the run instead of the other way around. By the way, I was wrong. Virginia, Wake Forest beat Virginia. They should have lost to Georgia Tech, and that's where they got robbed, in the Georgia Tech game. Anyway.
Concrete, wait, let's stop here for a minute. Concrete's questioning the comment about the O-line and regressing. And I mean,
look at the PFF grades. They're
regressing is a really tough description and tough word. But they have not been as elite in run blocking this year as I think that they are perceived to be. Pass blocking, like Jake said, they've been absolutely elite without question. But run blocking has not been as forceful as I believe it was.
I just said there's no gaping holes, but again, you're going against.
I haven't seen a gaping hole the whole year, other than the one that Marty Brown missed at SMU. That was a gaping hole.
Here's the stupidity of it. Bell has been very good. Maligoa has been very good. PFF backs that up. Our interior line has been mediocre at best. They're not good.
No,
especially against the run.
Here's the play I'm talking about at SMU. Look at the hole on the left side that he missed. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there. So, like, they are capable of it on certain plays. But I agree, though, for the full season, they have not been as dominant in run blocking as was anticipated. And I think that's impacted the results, quite frankly, because the head coach wants to build the offense around them and around their run blocking, and they have not performed up to that level of expectation.
So why does the word regress not apply? It sounds like they regress, but you're not using the word. That's all. But that's what it sounds like to me.
I'm saying they regress.
That's a tough word, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know if regressed is the right word.
Gary, if they're not equal or better, they regressed.
Yeah.
Say it. Damn it.
Same. Same plus same equals same. There you are, Gary.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. Like, listen, I don't know. I don't know,
Gary. I'd have you be saying.
I don't know if failing to play up to expectations is the same as regression. I don't think
it is. It is. The Inez Cooper.
When has this line that's playing this year ever played at the level of expectation? That one play I just put up on the screen aside.
Well, Inez Cooper has taken a step back in my opinion. I don't think he's been very good this year. He's not blowing guys off the ball. He's a massive human being. He gets pushed back a lot. Brockermeyer's at least he's not. I wouldn't call him undersized, but he's not the biggest guy. But Cooper's like, what, 6'5", 350, and he's getting knocked back by guys half his size. I mean, Syracuse on several plays was pushing them back. How are you going to let a 280-pound defensive tackle toss you around like that?
And Bell's had a
I'm putting
few.
this up for my boy Brockemeyer.
Yeah. Tough
Did you
guy
see-
over there.
Look at my boy Brockemeyer on this play. Boom!
Big, tough
that was a
guy.
great play.
Oh, look at him.
Boom!
Yeah,
That's
look at him.
That's for
blocking
everybody
that
that's been disrespecting Brockemeyer.
What he hit? He hit an 180-pound guy.
Yeah. Guy's half his weight.
Well, that was a good block. That was a key block too.
Good block. I mean, the play worked.
So, what do you think about Saturday, Jakey? What do you think?
Flip the game plan. Open it up. Get a lead. Get the lead. Go up 10 points, 14 points.
And then do
and
what?
then lean
Sit on the lead? No. We need to put our foot on these guys' throats and do what we have to do.
Style points.
Because we
But-
have
that's my
not
point.
been impressive at all. At all.
You need to pound the team that beat Georgia Tech.
Correct.
In the first half, beat up, get the lead, dig into your book, go out, score 28 points in the first half, and then in the second half, lean on them. It's a team you can lean on, but you can't do it if you don't have a substantial lead. If you're playing neck and neck with them, this is a team that can put 14 up in a hurry. You can't just play this conservative game. They'll beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think we need to throw in first down, even throw it in the backs. Brown is a damn good receiver in the flat to get it to him. I don't know how much Lyle seems a step slow. I don't know whether he's hurt. He gained too much weight. Pringle's good.
Too much time off.
And I think Pringle needs to get in the game too. A lot. And early. I think he's going to play early this time instead of only in the second half.
I loved
But they need to get those guys on the D line and the linebackers off the line of scrimmage. They got to start getting these guys back.
Well, but you noticed with Pringle, we were running off tackle, and holy shit, it worked. Oh my God. God forbid your first round offensive tackle and your massive 6'9", 360-pounder, you run around them instead of right up the gut every time. Pringle had a hell of a game. And
But
yeah,
Pringle
you can
also
say
has
that
the ability to start up the middle and bounce it to the outside, which he did once or twice the other day too. He's got that same thing that Lyle has, but Lyle doesn't have it this year. When last year he had that big run, it wasn't on the outside. He jumped, cut to the left, and he turned the corner. He was gone.
Lyle doesn't seem to have the cut this year. I don't know if that's just
He missed a lot of time.
He missed a lot of time.
7 weeks like that.
Yeah.
That's
And he just doesn't look like he's got that spark right now.
Right.
You
Or
lose
burst.
that.
He's got no burst.
It's that football shape, I'm sure the kid's in good shape, but are you in good football shape? And you lose all that momentum you had from spring and summertime, you just hit that wall. You don't play for almost 2 months. And then, I hope there's clearly talent there. I wish they'd use him a little differently because that kid has no business running up the gut no matter what. But I think Pringle's got to start seeing the field some. He earned it.
He earned it the other day.
Let me ask you about Lofton. Gary, you know what? Everybody, we saw Lofton in the spring. What about Luka Gilbert? I mean, he had a damn good spring. So why isn't he playing? Why?
I'm going to assume they're redshirting him.
Why? What is this
They shut
obsession?
down
not
him,
red
they
shirt,
come
but he
off
can
him,
play-
they're
he
not
can play
using
in
the
this
tight
game.
end anyway, and based on how much they're using the tight end, it's probably good if they are redshirting.
No, why?
But he can
Why,
still play
Gary?
4 games, Gary.
Why?
I would play him in this game. They're home. He's not going to be scared on the road.
Yeah,
Let him
maybe.
play.
I mean, he hasn't played 4 games, I don't think.
Okay. I'd rather
Gary,
play this game.
Let me ask you this. In this day and age, with NIL and guys going to – in what world does a guy with a lot of talent stick around for 5 years at Miami? In what
Tight
world?
end, maybe. Maybe.
No.
We'll see.
There
We'll
is
see.
no reality
We'll see.
in which a
He probably wasn't ready to make a major impact this year anyway. They had other guys. I
Bauman's
think
garbage.
he's going to be a very good player. I hope it's here. Like I think he is.
But like Bauman's playing like trash. Lofton's playing like trash.
Bauman's not getting opportunities. Lofton's been bad.
What happened? But like
Bauman's getting very limited opportunities.
Bauman can't block for shit. He has a.
I don't know about that.
His
And
blocking's
I haven't
okay.
seen him whiff like I've seen Lofton whiff.
Yeah, he's not whiffing.
PFF doesn't like his blocking. I don't know. My eyes say his blocking's mediocre. It's his grades in PFF are horrendous. Blocking. He's fine on a double team. I guess if you need if Maui Goa needs a little assistance on the end, but the guy's not doing anything. He's not moving the pile. He's not moving the sticks. Like try something different. Split somebody out. I don't know. It's the creativity. Here's one thing I'll ask. We've been running this 2-back set. Why not try Lofton in the 2-back set?
To do what?
To run, do something, catch a ball out of the backfield.
Well, wait a minute. How do you know the 2-back set's not working? I think it's been pretty good. They've got 2 options to go to, or they could flare one of them out to catch the ball. I like that offense.
Oh, no. I don't mind the formation, but why not like try it out, shake something up, try something different? Maybe Lofton just sucks. He's shot. Who knows? But
If you want, how about I have an idea. Why don't you put Malachi in the backfield all by himself and play action? Every time you fake it to him, the defense is just going to stop in their tracks because they don't know what the hell's going to happen, and maybe take a shot down the field. But you got to be imaginative, and I don't think he's imaginative enough. He had a couple of good calls the other day with Malachi being the decoy, but you may have to do that a little more.
he can call a great game. It seems like we've been playing scared since halftime at Florida State. We're afraid to lose a game as opposed to going out and winning one.
I would say that the first 3 quarters of Florida State game was the best game we played all season long, and then the fourth quarter it got ugly. But they were dominating Florida State. They were getting killed.
No doubt, but we went to a shell, and we've never come out of it.
Right.
Every game since, we've come out flat. The first half, we look like shit. We've played 3 good second halves. SMU.
We also played a bunch of bad teams. SMU was not that good. We just choked. And Syracuse is a terrible team. And Stanford's not that good. And we really did a number on them in the second half. But you got to play like that early in the game. You want North Carolina State to not be confident that they could stay with us. You don't
If you think about this whole season, Bruce, like you could go back to even the impressive wins against Florida and Notre Dame. There have not been many games where the Canes played 4 good quarters.
Right?
No, 0.
I would say 0. Yeah,
we went to State for a quarter during Florida and Notre Dame. And
they were up 21-7 at the half, and all of a sudden we could lose. It's tied.
To an extent, USF.
Without a doubt. I mean, it just hasn't been there.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's just
and that you can't blame it all on Dawson. That's for sure.
No,
it's something going on. It's just not right.
Here's the thing: is that it's like Dawson is shown. I know everyone's calling for his head, and maybe he needs to get fired at the end of the year. I don't know. We'll see how the year shakes out, the season shakes out. But
I have a hard time blaming this on one guy. I do
too.
I don't think so, but I'm not happy
even
with
if he's
him.
being too conservative, if it's his fault, that's what the head coach is for. And Mario's got to be able to say, you're being too conservative, open it up.
But to me, it's Mario, because if Dawson has – how many times have we seen, even going back like 2 years when we had kind of a shitty year, that game against Texas A&M, we were kind of in a rut, and then he just like boom, boom, boom. He had a couple of plays in the bag, and we got it going. And he's in many games, he has shown this propensity where he can dial it up. And so it's like, why are we starting with the notch turned down to 2? Why don't we crank it up to 10 from the jump. Why are we waiting until we have a stalemate at halftime to get it going? I think that's more.
That's why I said it last week again. I'll say it again today. They need to go to the no huddle. They need to get into it. They have no rhythm.
Tempo?
There's no rhythm to them. They go in the huddle. They come out. He's looking at the clock. It's down to 4, 3, 2. No huddle this thing. Speed it up. Let the other team adjust to us. I'm sick and tired of it adjusting to what they're doing. Stop.
Georgie Blanco hits it right on the head. USF Bethune, the only complete games.
And that's the key to this week. They got to bring the action to NC State. If they come out stale, NC State isn't going to wait around.
State'll stay in the game if you let them.
Yeah,
they can hit some plays on offense.
Yeah, that's
So
CJ Bailey. I know some guys rag on him. I don't know. I think I'd like for him to be our quarterback next year.
Yeah, we'll see. He's very expensive average quarterback.
Yeah, he's making $2 million now.
He's making $2 million now.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at what we have making $4 million, and he's got better stats than him. So
Carson Beck at least brought a SEC experience into the equation. He played in a lot of big games. Just played a horrible Louisville game. And
that's the other thing too. You got to trust this guy. You paid him the money. The season's on the line. Ride or die with them. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, you can be smart and still let him loose a little bit. It's been proven. I mean, when he's been let
he
loose,
threw no passes over 20 yards last game.
Right.
Holy
shit!
shit!
He's got guys that can catch the ball and take it to the house because it's been shown.
Holy shit!
He threw a really good ball to, was it Marion who caught that slant for a touchdown?
Oh, that was amazing. Split the needle there.
Yeah, he split those guys. So
right down the middle.
But they got to do stuff like that. They should still take shots down the field. You got to get the safeties off the line of scrimmage. You got to.
Tell you, the way he played that Louisville game when they were taking shots down the field, I think spooked Dawson and Mario. Understandable. Like they theoretically threw the season away that day.
Yeah. And he had guys in the flat open the whole game, probably.
That was a month ago.
Wide open in the flat.
Wide open in the flat. Yep.
You got to get over what happened.
Yes, you are right, Jake. You have to get over it. You can't let the one bad day impact the whole rest of the season. I totally agree with you. But we're getting pretty deep into it, and now they're up against it a little bit.
They're playing as though they're 9-0 right now. They're not. You're what, 6-2?
They're playing scared, I think. Still, they're worried. They're just they don't want to lose any games because they don't want to get blown out. They don't want any mistakes. They want mistake-free football.
We haven't been blown out. Play to win. Go out, take the action to them. Go out there and do what you can do. We've seen it. I bought into it. Everyone bought into it. We've seen them, what they can do, but just you got to open it up. You got to play your game.
Hey,
the last 4 games, we've been playing the other team's game.
Lido Kane, I haven't heard anybody make an excuse for Carson. We just got done sitting. We've been sitting here talking all night about how bad he was in the Louisville game and how it clearly spooked the coaches. Nobody's making any excuses.
But he was good. He was good. Saturday, he was good.
He was fine. Absolutely
solid.
But they were very controlled in what they asked him to do.
But he was also like SMU, other than the overtime pass, and that was a little.
Bad. He was not bad in that game. He
was rock solid.
Yes,
70+% completion rate.
They made the mistake of keeping SMU in the game.
Yeah. And
that's all Ashley wanted, be within one score in the fourth quarter.
You can't do that with NC State. They can put up points.
100%.
You gotta take the action to them.
All right, Jake. Thank you, my man. We'll see you next week, okay?
We'll see you then.
All right.
Here, Jake.
All right, let's go to Sebastian. He's been waiting so patiently. What is that you have in your hand? Great Poupon?
No, that was some lotion.
Oh, okay.
That was some lotion. Hey, man, glad to be on the show, man. I'm happy to see that we won last week.
So this is the Sebastian Spa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no signs this week. I don't know if you caught on to that. I didn't have any signs this week.
I did.
Yeah. I have a couple of comments I want to make tonight. I just don't want the team focusing on things they can't control. I don't want them worried about rankings. college football playoffs. You have a good NC State team that's coming here.
Referees, the official
Referees.
four.
If we come out of this week 1-0, everything that they want to work for is still in front of them.
Yeah.
They don't control that, but they just need to kind of focus in on that. This is a real good NC State team, and what I'm looking for is effort, energy, and excitement from the players and the coaching staff. And I just hope we see that right from the get-go.
Sebastian, right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go. Right from the get-go. This is going to be a real, real big game. The world of college football is funny. Things seem to work out the way they need to kind of work out. I wouldn't want to be a team in the top 12 right now at this point in the season because a lot of those guys are going to lose. Two of them are going to lose for certain this particular weekend because four of the teams play each other. So that's going to happen. I want to make some comments on the team as I see them going through because I can definitely see progress on the roster and a lot of these players developing. But Gary, and maybe you can answer this, Bruce. Here's a question that's been bugging me all season. Why does Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor play on punts? It's like, can't we get a couple of snaps from them and get them rested when they have to go in the fourth quarter? Is there any value for them actually being on the field?
We can't answer it, but you're not asking a bad
It's a good question. I think it's ridiculous because it is true. I've seen it.
I don't understand that. I mean, I think we punt maybe 4 times in a game, 5 times in a game. And I'm like, will we need those snaps in the fourth quarter? I just don't know what value they actually add on to the team that they should be on the field. I don't know if you want to comment on that, but I don't understand.
They're doing it for NFL purposes. You know, maybe they got to show that they can play special teams for their NFL.
I think they've shown that. I think they've shown that by
running down the field like gassers, 30, 40, 50 yards.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I just don't think the need of. The other thing I was looking at this week is I don't seem to understand why Carson Beck was playing in the second half of the fourth quarter. I don't know why Emory couldn't have been out there and they could have been, doing something. I don't know, Gary. I mean, those are things that I don't know if you see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's
just don't
nitpicking a little bit. I mean, does it really matter? But yeah,
I think they were looking for style points. They needed it, so they let him keep going.
Maybe you're looking for style points, but I'm thinking. I mean, what happens if Carson Beck twists his ankle?
Yeah,
and we're playing NC State.
Certainly be able to execute those plays. If Emory can't execute those plays late in the fourth quarter, then you got a problem.
Okay. Gary, you've been talking about, you and Matt have been talking about the freshman wide receivers have been good all year. Should we expect these guys to play more during the last three games of the season?
You would think so. I mean, they've earned that, but they're crowded positions. There's a lot of guys that want to play.
And CJ's coming back, so that's one less guy.
Yeah, with CJ coming back,
I know a lot of them want to play, but like everybody's on Shannon Dawson, but I'm kind of giving him a little bit of grace. I mean, that crossing path that Beck threw to JoJo Trader, I mean, that's not Shannon Dawson's fault he didn't catch it. I mean, it's just not. I thought it was a good scheme play. And if that crossing route, if JoJo catches that, he's probably going for a long yardage or maybe even possibly a touchdown. And think about how the offense would look differently if he just catches that ball. So when they talk about execution, that's what I see.
He dropped the sideline one. It was like a square out, and he dropped it. That's the one I saw him drop.
And so that's why I'm looking at seeing these other wide receivers play during the game because that's what I'm looking at. I think somebody made a point earlier that Malachi should be more of a decoy, sometimes more of a decoy.
I said that.
There you go, Bruce. He should be more of a decoy because I think we have other playmakers that are on the team.
If they're double covering Malachi, other guys are going to be open.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. And whether it's Daniels, whether it's Marion, whether it's JoJo, whether it's Upshaw, it doesn't really matter. If they're double covering Malachi, there will be guys open.
Yeah.
And maybe even downfield too, because everybody runs when they could pump fake it to Malachi on the right side, like the little cut in little bubble screen thing. and send Josh Moore down the field, he might be wide open because even the safeties are going to stop.
Bruce, you come to my next point. Is there any reason why we have not taken another deep shot with Josh Moore this year?
And in the spring, Gary and I saw he was making every catch, one-handed sometimes.
He was making play after play after play.
You go back to South Florida. I don't think we've thrown it to Josh Moore once deep.
No?
Oh, I think you're right. He's curl routes and
You're
square
100% right.
Yeah.
Sebastian, I can't. We can't explain stuff like that. We just keep.
Okay, I just want you to be cognizant of just the things that I see. That I just can't.
I can tell you that it's in the playbook. We've seen it.
Those are things I don't see. Now Matt's on the show, but Bruce, you're here, and Gary, you're here. I want to know, why do we win on Saturday? Because I don't want to hear that we have more talent.
We're going to go after C.J. Bailey like there's no tomorrow. They're going to put a lot of pressure. They're going to put a lot of pressure on him, and
he doesn't like to run.
They're going to try to make it pretty impossible for him to impact the game.
Okay, so Gary, I wasn't a part of the show in the beginning. My favorite player did he get hurt in practice? Is he injured? Is he out on this game? I know you can't comment on injuries, but
we can't. But I will tell you that we've obviously heard what everyone else is hearing. We just don't have any confirmation of any significance right now.
Okay. If he doesn't play, I think.
Has he listed anything so far this weekend, or he's not listed as anything so far?
The first injury report doesn't come out till Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Okay.
Doesn't come out till Thursday.
Yeah.
Now, I think we do have a talented backfield, but Keontae Stott is a difference maker. I mean, he's a blitzer. He's a good tasker. He's a lot. I mean, I'm comfortable.
I called him the best defensive player of the year. Not Bain, not Messidor, him. This kid is.
He's a difference maker.
Yeah. Jacoby Thomas too has been pretty damn good.
Yeah, but I don't think he's been as consistent as Keontae Scott is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, doesn't miss tackles and everything. All right, this is my last comment. Then I'll let somebody else go on the show. I'm encouraged and I'm excited about what we've been seeing on the recruiting front. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be a large class, which I'm very excited about. I mean, I'm hoping it ends up like a 32, and we go after all these players and take as much as we can. With the scholarship limit the way that it is, as 105, do you foresee a floodgates of folks transferring out of the program because we're taking a real large recruiting class, number one? And then two, I think we're going to be active in the portal, but I don't think we're going to have the numbers like we've had in the past.
Yeah, I agree.
I think probably like 10 transfers. But do you foresee a floodgates of folks wanting to transfer? And some folks need to transfer out the program just because.
There'll be some. I haven't gone through the roster and made a list yet of who I think might be candidates for that, but there will definitely be some guys that bail.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a dozen.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that haven't played this year.
Right, there's a lot of guys.
I mean, like I see Ray Joseph. I think he's a great player. I just don't think
he's got to go to the portal. Has to go to the portal.
I don't think he needs to play. I don't think he needs to give Miami another year.
He should have gone to the portal last year.
Right.
So
let's say this. He'll go to SMU. Who else? Who else is going to SMU?
So
Wheatley Humphrey.
Yeah,
is Wheatley Humphrey. I don't know.
He's a decent player, but he's so deep and down in the depth chart. All the backs I think are going to be back next year. Like,
yeah,
I don't think Fletcher can go to the NFL.
Gary,
Lyle, I assume will be back. Marty Brown will be back. Pringle hopefully sticks it out and is back.
And then you have you have running backs that you don't have to get in the portal. You can
have a redshirt. Yep.
That you can redshirt. Yep. Gary, the last thing I'll say to this, and Bruce, I want you to hear my words on this. I don't like when they make Miami a double-digit favorite. For them to make them a 14-point, this is a team that beat the crap out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, they beat them.
And you're going to tell me that they're a 2-touchdown underdog? Because if Miami beats them now, if Miami beats them by 7 points, 10 points, and 3 points, you're going to say they kind of underperform. And this is a good NC State team. So why, Bruce, why, Gary, why do they want to keep making us these high double-digit favorites? I don't understand that.
I can't answer that because I don't gamble. I don't bet. I don't look at the points. I could care less about that. I'm spending my money on my family, not
That
gambling.
line this week is big.
It's big. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. But I hope we go 1-0. I'm not worried about the playoffs. I'm not worried about all this other stuff. All I care about is if we win these next 3 games, I would like to have that conversation then. I'm not going to have it right now. They could have ranked us 17th. I don't care
agree.
what
It
they do
means
right
nothing
now.
right now.
It
Right.
means absolutely nothing. If we win these next 3 games and we're sitting at 10-2 with our resume, I think it's a conversation to be had in regards to why we're not at the top 12. But we need to stop all this stuff and spending energy over things we can't control. What we need to do is we need to have one more point than NC State after this week.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully more than one.
Hopefully, way
Hopefully
more.
more than one. But Gary, I'll be satisfied with one.
All right, Sebastian.
No,
All
you
right,
would.
y'all have a good week,
No,
guys.
you would.
We'll talk to you next week, man.
Complaining, just like me.
We'll talk to you next week, Sebastian.
Take care, buddy.
Smoothly abrasive makes a point here, Bruce. I bet your Lashley would be throwing the Josh Moore down the field. He would.
Yeah, especially after a fake to Malachi. The safety.
Remember how many times we saw it with Charleston Rambo that year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every game, Gary, he was down the field.
All right, Bruce. Any parting thoughts here?
Well, obviously it's Veterans Day, so I talked about my dad. My dad was 101st Airborne. He jumped on D-Day, June 6, 1944, over the beaches of Normandy, France. A war hero, a true war hero. So I want to thank my dad and all the veterans for their service, because without them, I don't know where we'd be today, although we're in a mess now. But so everybody that was a veteran, I thank you. Look, we've talked about it all week. They got to win. They can't lose any of these next 3 games. Otherwise, there's nothing to talk about except what bowl we're going to. But again, I'd like to see it.
They lose one of these 3 games, Bruce. Nobody's going to care about a bowl game.
Right. No one's going to care. No one's going to
care
go.
less. Yeah.
Right. But we need to play a complete game. You know, this is a pretty good team. So if we can hold them to under 20 points and we score 30 something, that's a hell of a win. Then we're fit. We're finished at home. We got to go to Vatech, who's not that good. And then we have a big game against Pitt, which maybe both of us have to win that game. I'd love to see Pitt beat Notre Dame. That would be great. But that's it. Just win. It's enough. I want to see the offense continue to be opened. I don't want to see the same pattern of run, pass. We need to use our heads. And if they got 6 in the box, you better throw the damn ball on first down. First down is the key to this game. I just hope that Scott's healthy. I want to see that kid is spectacular. And let's go, man. Let's go out. I'm ready now. It's only Tuesday. I want to win.
Style points matter.
Yep.
Okay. And the committee made it pretty clear that they are looking for more consistency from the Miami offense in these last 3 games. And not even a quarter and a half, really, it's not going to cut it. You've got to be consistently good for all 4 quarters if you're going to win the style point battle here down the stretch. And you don't know how it's going to shake out 3 weeks from now. And you need those style points in your back pocket for sure in this modern day system of college football.
I'd like to see our offensive line block better on the run. They just seem to be getting held at the line of scrimmage just like this, and it shouldn't be. We should be smashing these guys. I'd like to see that too. They need to get that offense going in all phases.
Yeah. All right. So we thank everybody that came on the show tonight. Great show, everyone. And thanks to Matt Shodell for joining us in the first hour. Thanks to Bruce for popping in here in hour number 2. Program note, tomorrow night, we got the Lamar Thomas show. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but we have a special guest coming on the Lamar show. He's scheduled to come on the Lamar show tomorrow night, who I will say has maybe more responsibility for where the Miami football program is today than anybody on the planet. And I'll leave it at that until tomorrow night. So 8:00 tomorrow night, same time, same channel. Join us for the Lamar Thomas show. So for Matt and Bruce, I'm Gary. Thanks again, everybody, for participating in tonight's show and watching. We'll see you next time.